This video will explain what a pre-issue creation rule on Copilot is, how to set up a rule, how to edit the pop-up asking the occupier if the issue they are reporting is an emergency, and how this rule will work in practice. You can create pre-issue creation rules on Fixflo, which allows you to ask the occupier if the issue which they are reporting is an emergency, allowing you to add an extra level of triaging prior to taking any action on the report itself. To set this up, simply click on Copilot on your left-hand menu sidebar and then select Add Rule. Fixflo have a number of templates available for you, which can help you to set up issue creation rules. For the purpose of this video, I am going to select an empty rule, allowing me to create one from scratch. When setting up any rule, the first thing that you must do is add a name. Fixflo recommends that you make this name as clear as possible so that if ever someone is looking through your list of rules, it is clear to that person exactly what that rule is automating. For this example, I'm going to add a landlord's name and ask the occupier if this is an emergency. This is then clear to anyone who reads this that any issues which are about to be reported for this particular landlord's property will be asked if this is an emergency first. Next, I will select my trigger. For this example, you will need to select Pre-issue creation. Pre-issue creation rules allow you to set up automation before the issue is submitted on Fixflo. I can now enable this rule if I would like to. Please be aware that rules can easily be disabled at any time. I am now ready to add my filters. When adding filters, you can get as granular as you wish. This is because you can add multiple filters to any one rule. For example, you could always set one up to automate for a particular fault at a certain time for one of your properties. To better understand this, let's have a look at the filter options. By clicking here, this pop-up will appear and you can select filters from this drop-down. The first option is Any. This is incredibly broad and it means that you would like to automate any issue. Next, we have Covered by Network. This must be selected if you would like to instruct the issue directly onto one of Fixflo's contractor networks. This is only required if you are setting this up for an issue creation rule. Period allows you to set up a rule for a one-off period of time, for example, bank holidays. Setting fault allows you to choose exactly which faults you would like to ask the occupiers if the issue is an emergency. This allows you to be extremely granular with your rules. Please note that you can select just one or multiple faults for one rule. Fault priority is a way for you to set up rules for certain fault priorities. When an issue is submitted on Fixflo, it is given a fault priority. This ranges from 0, meaning an emergency, to 5, meaning non-urgent. We have taken these from the social housing standards, and each issue will have a priority number sitting on the Next Step tab. Underneath that option, you can select time. This is recurring times during the week. For example, every evening and weekend. Location allows you to add postcodes which you wish to be included in this particular rule. The next filter is Property. This allows you to set up rules on a per property basis. You can also set up rules for particular property tags if you wish. These tags can be set up to group properties together, and then you can set up a rule for these specific properties. For example, properties covered by British Gas Home Care. We have a guide available on our help site to explain how you can use this feature. Fixflo recommends that you ensure that your property data is set up correctly on Fixflo and that you amend your address search option setting to only display uploaded properties so that this filter works correctly. You can find out more about this on our help site. The filter underneath is Landlords. This allows you to set up rules for certain landlords, helping you to keep them happy. Raised by enables you to say whether the rule is raised either by an agent or other. Others include occupiers, contractors, and landlords. You can also set up rules for properties which are or are not under warranty, communal, or for those that have been reported as an emergency. Please note that the filter, Reported as an Emergency, can be used on an issue creation rule in conjunction with a pre-issue creation rule, asking an occupier if the issue is an emergency. For example, if the occupier reports an issue and says that it is an emergency, you could then add a rule for those issues and instruct them directly onto a contractor. In this example, I'm going to select the filter Landlord. The Add Filter pop-up will now allow me to search for landlords which are on my Fixflo site. In this example, I'm going to add this landlord only. Once happy, I need to click OK to add this. If I wanted, I could now go on and add more filters to become more granular. But in this example, I will keep this broad and just keep it to one filter. I am now ready to add my action. By clicking here, I can see the actions available. These are Do Nothing, Ask Reporter if Emergency, and Check if Duplicate Issues. Ask Reporter if Emergency will ask the occupier if the issue that they are reporting is in fact an emergency before they submit this issue on Fixflo. You can edit the pop-up, and this video will explain how to do this shortly. Once you are happy with your selection, then please press OK. Fixflo highly recommends that you check over your rules before you save anything. Once saved, this rule will sit in Copilot under the correct trigger like this. Please note that if you would like to amend the pop-up message asking the occupier if this is an emergency, then you will need to be an administrator user, and you can do this by clicking on Setup, Content Edit, and then scroll down and open up Message to Occupier Reporting an Emergency. Here you can view and amend the pop-up. Any changes will need to be saved here. Let's now have a look at how this rule works in practice. Our example has been set up to ask occupiers living at properties which are owned by a particular landlord if the issue that they are reporting is really an emergency. To see this in practice, we will need to report an issue at one of Mr. Moonling's properties. As no further filters were set up, the occupier could report any issue, any time. The only filter in place is that they must reside at one of his properties, according to your data on Fixflo. If an occupier goes to report a maintenance issue on Fixflo, as long as the filters match what you have set up on Copilot, before they report an issue, they will see the following pop-up before they submit this issue. As shown earlier, this pop-up can be customised by administrator users. This information will then pull onto the PDF document, and it will show on the Detail tab of the issue like this. Please note that you can then set up issue creation rules for those which have been reported as an emergency, allowing you to send these specific issues onto a contractor of your choice. If you would like to learn more about our Copilot tool, then please feel free to sign up to our free course on Fixflo Academy. You can easily access this from directly within your Fixflo site by clicking on this training icon and then selecting Fixflo Academy. Thank you for watching.